Okay, going home. A quote which I frequently remember is one by one of my favorite science fiction writers, Robert Heinlein. And the quote is, always listen to experts. They will tell you what you can't do and why, and then do it. And when I was younger, I thought about that frequently, and I try to apply it to my everyday life. And I have mentioned in other videos that I have been fairly successful in some areas. For example, learning how to play the piano at a very advanced age. I am also naturally very shy, but over the years I have learned to overcome my shyness by forcing myself to talk to people and introduce myself to strangers. And I could list a few more things to which I have applied that quote. However, as I've grown older and a little bit wiser, I have learned that I also have to be aware of my limitations. For example, when I was younger, much younger, a couple of other friends and I decided that we were going to be bodybuilders, and we started working out very intensely. But it didn't take me long to figure out that no matter how much I worked out, I would never be the next Arnold. I have also learned that as an adult, no matter how hard I try, I'm just not a good salesman. For a while when I was in college, I became very interested in dancing, and I was invited to join a dance group. But I very soon realized that no matter how much I practiced, I would never be able to be a professional dancer. As much as I enjoy gardening, I know that when it comes to maintaining the grass and edging and things like that, I'd rather hire somebody who knows how to do it. A story that I like to say that illustrates the lack of skill in some areas is the time that I was buying some lumber at one of our local lumber yards. And I had a car at the time, and so I had to cut some of the boards so they could fit in the car. Now, I grew up around carpenters. I have several uncles who are carpenters, and I always saw them working, and what they did seemed very easy to me. So when I told the young man at the lumber yard that I needed to cut the boards so they could fit in my car, he handed me a saw. And so I measured the boards the best I could, and I took the first board and I started sawing. And I was sawing for a long time, and I just didn't seem to be doing anything to the board. And there were some men at the cash register, and they were looking at me cut the board. And so finally one of them came over and said, "No se puede, primo?" Literally that means, "You can't do it, cousin?" Primo is a common term that we use when addressing a stranger, referring that we all seem to be related somehow. And so he took the saw from my hand, and in 2 or 3 strokes, he was able to cut the board. And in about 4 strokes, he was able to cut all of the other boards for me. I could see that the other man had a little smile on their face, and of course I was very embarrassed. But as I carried the boards to my car, I comforted myself with the idea that I'm not a professional carpenter, and so therefore he had an advantage. So yes, I've learned to accept my limitations. My goodness.